After you've completed your editing of your pictures, you're going to be making your collage. I'd like you to have between 7 and 9 photos that are part of your collage. Using Lightroom, we can edit the photos and also put them into a collage all in the same program. So I'd like you to click over onto the print area here, and you're going to start by just having a blank sheet. If you end up clicking on one of these options over here, you can always just delete away the cells by selecting it and clicking delete. We're just going to start with a blank canvas to be able to add in the number of pictures that we want and how they're put together. So how you add in photos is making sure that we're just on kind of this custom package on the top here. We're going to scroll down until we find the Add to Package button here. So I'm just going to click on a few of these here, and we don't need to have this other page, so I'm just going to move these over to the other side. And I'm just going to add in the number of photos that I think I need. So it'll keep just kind of doing that. So far I've got 5, 6, 7, and maybe I'll just put these over onto this side here, and then I'll delete this other page. If you wanted to have your page be wide rather than tall, you can click on landscape rather than portrait. And right now it's just set up for kind of a letter size on the type of paper. You could always change that. Alright, now I'm going to be able to adjust the size of these little cells that the photos are going to go in. I want you to uncheck this box that says Lock to Photo Aspect Ratio. Okay, we're going to allow this to kind of be whatever size we want it to. You have up until kind of that gray area for each cell. So I'm just going to start making a variety of different rectangles that I'm going to put the photos into. You can overlap them if you so choose. I'm just going to kind of put that in there. You know, maybe just to use the space well, I will move this one over so that way it is all the way into one side. I kind of like the idea of having like a nice long strip that I'm going to do here. So kind of put that there and then drag this one over. So resize it so that way all of your squares kind of fill the whole space. And I'll start up again here in just a moment. Alright, I've got my spaces or my cells all put together, ready to go to drag pictures into it. So I'm just going to select a photo by highlighting it here, and then I can drag it up into the spot where I'd like to put it. So this is a wider photo, so I'm just going to bring it right up in there. Now, if I want to move the picture around within the cell, you'll want to hold Control on your keyboard, and then you can move the photo up and down within the cell or side to side. So I'm just going to do that. I'll bring in another photo here. So think about what is the most important part of the picture and make that visible within your cell. You can just move it back and forth as you're deciding how you want that to look. Bring in a black and white photo here. Now, depending on how you've edited your pictures, consider maybe not grouping them together based on how they look edited-wise. Whatever's larger is going to show up a little bit more important in your artwork. So, you can try out different photos, decide what you think is the best to kind of show as the most important photo. Have that a little bit larger in on your artwork. And we're just trying to do a wide variety for your collage. Alright, after you've brought your photos in place and you've moved them around how you want to within their cells, you do have some options to make your photos look a little bit different. So, for example, you might choose to have little around your cells having some color. And if you wanted to do that, you click on the photo border option, and in which case you can change the size of the border around each picture just by clicking that. If you wanted to have a different color for that border, you might end up choosing that color down here in the page area, and you can choose a background color and it will make whatever backgroundy color be the color of that kind of outline around the pictures. So you can kind of see how that changes things. Right? From there, if you're noticing things are a little bit off, you can still make changes in the cells and move them around. If you've got gaps between pictures and things like that, you can change it. But let's say that you are all done. I'm actually going to just go for a nice black outline around my pictures here. After you're totally done, we're going to want to print to a file. So down in the print job area, you're going to change it from printer, which is probably where it was at, to JPEG file. Might as well keep that at 100%. And then down at the very bottom here, you'll click print to file. Choose where you want to save it. I'm just going to put it on my desktop. You'll see a little bar going across the top here. And then you'll be able to see your finished artwork right here. So I just kind of made this large. Now you can see how that turned out. Right? You'll notice that there aren't those little gaps that were showing up on the version within Lightroom. Those disappear. They're kind of like guidelines to show you where the ends of the cells are. But that is the finished product right there. It's the Something Out of Nothing project.